there, very good evening and a warm welcome to the news on Channel I. I'm Sharon Mascrinius.
And I'm Tilina Udayaratna. We begin with a quick check on tonight's top stories. Fulfilled promises. The first house constructed under the Gamata Gayak Ratata Hetak National Program vested with the public. The 22 arrested university students remanded. The President is constitutionally empowered to dissolve the Parliament after today. The public is requested to refrain from displaying images of the President. Royalty payments effective from today. The British Prime Minister entered the wedlock for the third time. And on your top local story this evening, the first house constructed under the Gamata Gayak Ratata Hetak National Program was vested with the public today. This was at the Orchard Gardens in Attanagal. The national program was launched on the 1st of February this year with the intention of constructing 14,000 houses within 60 days. Under the President's vision of prosperity, which intends to construct a permanent residence for every family. 8.41 billion rupees was spent to construct houses for 14,022 low-income earning families. The first house that was constructed under this program, which is being implemented under the Ministry of Housing and the Housing Development Authority, was vested with the public today. 450,000 rupees has been spent on this house, whose present owners, a family of 2 children, previously lodged in a wooden house. Minister Prasanna Ranatunga also attended the event.
22 students who were arrested due to violating a court order have been remanded until tomorrow. They were produced before the Colombo Additional Magistrate this morning. Members of the Inter-University Student Federation engaged in a sit-in protest opposite the Ministry of Higher Education from the 26th of last month in opposition of an alleged suppression of students at the University of Ruhana. A court order was issued against the protest and DIG Ajit Rohan advised the students of the court ruling. However, they did not abide by the ruling. The police states since the students' conduct was an outright violation of the court order, they had to be arrested. Since investigations into the incident have not been completed, the police requested of the court to remand the suspects. Thereby, Additional Magistrate Lakmali Jayatunga stated that their bail applications will be taken up for consideration tomorrow. There are 2 prelates among the arrests.
Chairman of the Elections Commission Mahinda Deshapriya says the President is constitutionally entitled to dissolve the Parliament after today. Speaking to the media at Ambalanguda, he said the Attorney General has educated the President in this regard. Chairman of the Elections Commission Mahinda Deshapriya said it has been reported that the Attorney General has notified the President that he is entitled to dissolve the Parliament after today. He, however, said it is not possible to predict as to when the Parliament will be dissolved. He explained if the dissolution takes place tomorrow, nominations can be called between the 12th and the 19th of March. The elections need to be held between 52 to 66 days after dissolution. Therefore, the parliamentary elections can be held only after the 22nd of April. The Elections Commission has therefore given the available dates for the election to be held as the 25th, 27th, 28th, 29th of April or the 4th of May. The Chairman of the Elections Commission states the sole right of selecting a suitable date lies entirely with the President.
The 8th Parliament completes its 4.5-year term as at midnight tomorrow. Thereby, with effect from midnight today, the President is constitutionally empowered to dissolve the legislature at any moment. The 8th Parliament was elected in the general election that was held on the 17th of August 2015. The enactment of the 19th Amendment to the Constitution brought about a considerable change to the structure of the governance of the country. Significantly, over the past 4.5 years, 2 prime ministers have been selected through the legislature on 4 occasions. Subsequent to the 2015 general elections, former Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe was elected Prime Minister, whilst former President Mahinda Mahinda Rajapaksa was sworn in as Prime Minister with the change of government that took place towards the latter part of 2018. However, after 52 days, former Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe was reinstated in the premiership. However, once again, after the presidential elections on the 16th of November 2019, Mahinda Rajapaksa became the Prime Minister again. It is also significant to note that the present parliament was the only parliament which had 3 opposition leaders during its term. Subsequent to the 2015 general elections, leader of the Tamil National Alliance R. Sambandhan functioned as the opposition leader. Thereafter, last year, Mahinda Rajapaksa was recognised as the opposition leader, whilst now, since January this year, Sajid Premadasa functions as the opposition leader. Critics point out that this parliament is the most distorted parliament in history. If parliament is dissolved tomorrow, 62 MPs will lose their pensions. Meanwhile, representatives of a number of political parties have expressed their views on the dissolution of parliament. Minister Dinesh Gunawardena says the President will, with great honour, sign the decision on the dissolution. State Minister Vasudeva Nanayakkar says that they are able to go forward on a sustainable path by obtaining a parliamentary mandate similar to the mandate given to the executive.
A request has been made of the public to not display images of President Gotabaya Rajapaksa at public places. It has been observed that portraits and photographs with the President's image are being displayed on either side of roads and at grounds where ceremonies are being held. The President, whilst thanking artists who paint portraits of him, requests of them to refrain from doing so, and the President says he does not appreciate promoting his personal image.
Meanwhile, the 5-year development plan for the Polonnaruwa district was unveiled under the patronage of Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa today. The ceremony to launch the 5-year development plan, which will be effective from 2020 to 2025, took place at the Pulasthibuddhi Mandapa at Polonnaruwa. It was organised by the State Minister Roshan Ranasinghe. This development program has been planned according to the vision of prosperity of President Gotabaya Rajapaksa. Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa said for a country to be developed, the President and the Parliament should be on one track, and if the Parliament and the Prime Minister are backtracking, a President cannot go forward. The Premier further stated during the past 5 years no work was done because there was always a tug-of-war between the President and the Prime Minister. The Premier added very soon the opportunity will be open to elect a strong Parliament. Minister Johnston Fernando and a group of people's representatives of the Polonnaruwa district were present.
The new alliance led by opposition leader Sajid Premadasa by the name of Samagi Jana Balavegaya will be unveiled tomorrow. The event will take place at the Nelumpokuna Theatre. Meanwhile, the UNP states that a meeting of local government representatives has also been convened under the patronage of former Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe, which will be held at Sirikota tomorrow. The symbol under which to contest was being discussed over the past few days, and the final working committee meeting in this regard was held at Sirikota. Professor Ashu Marasinghe said he has been invited to the inaugural ceremony of the alliance, and this evening the working committee decided that all members will participate. They are able to participate if the alliance is contesting under the elephant or swan symbol. However, if any other symbol is selected, they cannot participate as it goes against the decision of the working committee. Professor Marasinghe further stated the United National Party is fully capable of contesting under the elephant symbol. Even in the past, certain groups have defected from the UNP. However, such groups have perished in politics, but the United National Party has been unwavering and has marched forward.
President Gotabaya Rajapaksa paid homage at the historic temple of the Tooth Relic in Kandy this morning. He was welcomed by the Devadana Nilame Pradeep Nilangadala. The President venerated the sacred Tooth Relic and obtained blessings. He was warmly welcomed by the devotees present. Thereafter, the President met with the Chief Prelate of the Asgiri chapter, the Most Venerable Varakagoda Sri Gnanaratana Thera. The Thera chanted said prayer to invoke blessings on the President. He also called on the Chief Prelate of the Rangiri Dambulu Mahaviharaya and Kandy Asgiri Senior Sangha Committee member, the Venerable Dr. Godagama Mangala Thera. Anunayaka of the Asgiri chapter, the Venerable Vendaruwe Upali Thera, was also present at this meeting, which took place at the Asgiri Sri Chandrananda Buddhist College. Central Provincial Governor Lalit U. Gamage was also present.
A ceremony to felicitate State Minister Mahindananda Alutgamage on his completion of 30 years in politics was held under the patronage of President Gotabaya Rajapaksa and Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa in Kandy today. A large group of invitees representing many fields attended the event together with ministers and parliamentarians and the Mahasangha. Minister Dalasala Peruma and Western Provincial Governor Dr. Sita Aramepula delivered the keynote addresses under the title Madhutu Mahindananda, the Mahindananda I Have Known. The newly authored book titled Tis Vasaraka Mahindananda was first presented to the Mahasangha and thereafter to the President and the Prime Minister. Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa said that he fully recognized Mahindananda after they suffered defeat. It is not during victory that people get to fully know each other, but when power is lost. The Premier added that they need to appreciate the support rendered by State Minister Mahindananda Alutgamage when the party was defeated, as it is this individual who took measures to form branches and associations that took and even order to build the newly formed party. Thereby, Prime Minister Rajapaksa stated they highly appreciate the 30-year service rendered by State Minister Mahindananda Alutgamage, especially in the endeavour to build the newly formed political party and have a president elected through this party.
ඔබට තවත් වැඩ කරන්න පුළුවන් ශක්තිය තියෙනවා ඒ වැඩ කරන්න ශක්තිය ඔබට ලැබේවා කියලා ප්‍රාර්ථනා කරමි මා සමුගන්නවා ඔබට
Royalty payments for composers will be effective from today. Thereby, the vocalist, the lyricist and the composer are entitled to royalty payments. A television station will have to pay 100 rupees each a time is telecast, whilst a radio station will have to pay 20 rupees. Minister Bandula Gunawardena presented the relevant gazette notification to artists at the Kasbava Polite Bureau meeting today. Artists expressed their praise to the government on the move taken to effect royalty payments. Veteran musician Dr. Jagat Vikramasinghe said he believes this is a right which was pending over a long period of time. As he also heads a media organization, he believes that this is a duty to be fulfilled by the media towards the artists. On the other hand, as he's an artist himself, he believes that he has the right to be enjoyed by the artists.
Well, a super luxury bus caught fire whilst plying along the Southern Expressway this evening. The reason for the fire is suspected to be a technical fault. The bus that caught fire was a CTB bus commuting between Colombo and Mathura. The incident occurred at around 4:30 p.m. today near the 112th kilometre post between Imaduwa and Kokmaduwa along the expressway. The police state that the passengers escaped unharmed. However, the bus was completely destroyed in the fire.
Turkish food lovers are now able to taste unique and authentic Turkish flavors in Sri Lanka. Turkish Delight, Turkish culinary promotion, is currently taking place at the Hilton Colombo residencies. The Turkish Delight features 2 Turkish chefs brought down from Hilton, Istanbul by Turkish Airlines, offering memorable experiences in authentic Turkish cuisines. The event is organized by the Hilton Colombo Residencies in collaboration of Turkish Embassy in Colombo. Turkish Delight dinner buffet will be available until the 7th of March from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. and masterclasses will also be conducted by the chefs Ali Demir and Musa Akyaman with many years of experience in specialty of Mediterranean and Anatolian cuisines. The launch of the Turkish Delight Turkish food promotion was recently held in Colombo with the participation of many invitees.
Turkish cuisine is regarded as one of the finest and richest cuisine in the world. Turkey's culinary culture today is mostly inherited from the Ottomans, which has successfully survived over 7 centuries. These features from the Ottomans still remain to influence the modern delights of the Turkish cuisine. The ideal geography of Turkey, straddling Europe and Asia, has also largely impacted on the uniqueness of Turkish flavors. Our cuisine is very well known for its diversity of flavors, which differ from one region to the other.
We aim for our guests to associate Hilton with this rare and unique experience. And that is at the heart of why we've launched this series of food promotions at Flow, to provide diners in Sri Lanka an opportunity to taste the cuisine that is not readily available in Sri Lanka, at the same time positioning Flow as the ideal place for a multi-cuisine restaurant.
There are those of us who like to venture to the unexplored, to see the beauty in the strange and unknown. Those of us who go out there with a sense of wonder, bridging worlds and finding delight in our differences. If you are one of us, you want to explore more of this great planet, we are ready to take you there. It's time to see, smell, hear, taste, and touch with Turkish Airlines.
The government has decided to grant tax concessions to the Mattala and Ratmalana international aviation service providers. The objective of this move is to further strengthen the obtained services of international aviation service providers. Thereby, the embarkation tax at the Mattala Rajapaksa International Airport has been suspended for a period of 2 years. In addition, it has been decided to suspend for a period of 1 year 50% of the embarkation tax at the Ratmalana Airport. Minister Prasanna Ranatunga says the government has decided to grant special concessions on behalf of the airline companies that extend flights to these airports. In addition, the government has taken steps to provide discounts for ground operations at these airports, provide fuel at concessionary prices, and suspend landing and parking charges for a year. This decision was taken at a discussion held with Minister Prasanna Ranatunga and the managers of international airline companies. At the discussion, the representatives of the airline companies pointed out that flights have been curtailed throughout the globe as a result of the spread of the coronavirus. The minister instructed the Civil Aviation Authority to provide a report on the situation.
Vehicle parades can be seen these days as big matches of schools are underway. Images of an accident which occurred during one such vehicle parade were circulating on social media today. It was fortunate that no loss of lives occurred as a result of the accident. However, such behavior is totally unacceptable. It is important to be cautious when driving vehicles, and it is equally important to act in a manner in which there is no risk to others.
Well, the first coronavirus deaths have been reported in the US, Thailand and Australia. The novel coronavirus has killed more than 2,900 people worldwide, with more than 85,000 global cases, with infections on every continent except Antarctica. The number of new coronavirus cases in China has dropped dramatically in recent days outside the province at the center of the epidemic. 87,674 confirmed cases have been reported across the world, with more than 40,000 people being recovered from the viral infection. South Korea is battling the worst coronavirus outbreak outside China, with 3,736 cases with 47 deaths. Meanwhile, Roman Catholic churches remained closed across South Korea today as officials struggle with a coronavirus outbreak that has led to the cancellation of many public and religious gatherings. More than 1,000 confirmed cases have been reported from Italy, the worst-hit European nation from the coronavirus outbreak. 29 people have died from the infection thus far. Confirmed cases have also been reported from Luxembourg, Qatar, Iceland, Armenia and Ecuador. Stern preventive measures have been taken by Saudi Arabia to prevent the spread of the coronavirus outbreak in the country. Iran has reported 11 new coronavirus deaths. The outbreak has claimed the lives of 54 people in Iran thus far. The 385 new cases of infected people in the last 24 hours, the total number of confirmed cases in Iran has increased up to 978. Fears of the impact of the coronavirus outbreak have also hit the stock markets in the oil-rich Gulf countries.
The Police Narcotics Bureau apprehended 6 suspects together with a large haul of heroin and ice narcotics yesterday. The police state this is the largest haul of drug ice discovered in the recent past. The Police Narcotics Bureau, upon a tip-off received, conducted a raid along the Gold Coast jointly with the Navy. As a result, a haul of heroin weighing 74 kilos and 666 grams and ice weighing 65 kilos and 714 grams was seized together with 6 arrestees. They were produced before the Colombo Chief Magistrate Court today, and the court granted permission for the suspects to be detained by the Police Narcotics Bureau for questioning.
Now it's time for our special segment, Diriyata Javeyak. A wrestler who is attempting to reach great heights in wrestling amidst many hardships was reported from the Välimäda area. Shehan Yasas, a grade 7 student of the Girambe Sri Kemananda Vidyalaya. Shehan, who has secured victories at district and provincial level, is now training to win a title at the all-island level. Since their area lacks facilities to conduct training in the wrestling sport, Shehan and his fellow wrestlers practice using the discarded mattresses of the Nuwara Eliya General Hospital. Shehan Yasas resides in a rented-out house in the Diuramgama area in Välimäda. His parents do not have permanent employment and engage in odd jobs such as selling packets of lamp wicks and ladles. Therefore, his parents do not have the financial means to help him to further his sporting talent. If Shehan, who has progressed so far upon skill and dedication, is provided with the necessary facilities, he would surely excel as an outstanding wrestler of Sri Lanka. Well, that's it on local news. We'll be back with news overseas.
And we now take a look at foreign news. Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan says 18,000 migrants have crossed Turkish borders into Europe after the country opened the doors from them to travel. He said that the number is expected to hit 25,000 to 30,000 in the coming days. The Turkish president said that the country could no longer deal with the amount of people fleeing Syria's civil war. Greece has indicated that it has blocked thousands of migrants from entering illegally from Turkey. Greek authorities had fired tear gas in an attempt to disperse the crowds. Turkey's decision followed an attack on Turkish troops by Syrian government forces in northern Syria this week. At least 33 Turkish soldiers were killed in a bombardment in Idlib, the last Syrian province where Syrian rebel groups hold significant territory. Turkey continued retaliatory strikes yesterday, killing 26 Syrian government troops with drone strikes, according to reports. Malaysia has a new Prime Minister. Less than a week after the unexpected resignation of Mahathir Mohamad plunged its politics into turmoil, Muhyiddin Yassin, backed by the corruption-tarnished former governing party, was sworn in by the king. Former president, who has dominated Malaysian politics for decades, described the appointment of Muhyiddin as illegally and a betrayal. He vowed to seek a vote in parliament to challenge Muhyiddin's support. Mahathir, who was the world's oldest elected leader, had returned to power in 2018 in a collision with his old rival Anwar Ibrahim. Prime Minister Boris Johnson and his partner Carrie Symonds are engaged and are expecting a baby in early summer, the couple have announced. Carrie Symonds wrote on Instagram that they got engaged at the end of last year, adding she felt incredibly blessed. Boris Johnson and Carrie Symonds became the first unmarried couple to occupy Downing Street when they moved in last year. Carrie Symonds is also the youngest partner of the Prime Minister in 174 years. Colchester Strand was covered in a sea foam on yesterday as Storm George hit the west coast of Ireland. The National Met Service for the United Kingdom has issued warnings for the heavy rain, strong winds and snow to parts of the country. George, named by the Spanish Meteorological Service, is expected to bring strong winds and rain to the northwest of Spain over the weekend as well.
And on sports news for tonight, it's tennis as Rafael Nadal captured his third Abierto Mexicano Telquel Presidentado por HSBC title on Saturday, continuing his good vibes with a triumph in the final over Taylor Fritz with a 6-3, 6-3 victory. Nadal survived 10 aces from Fritz and broke the service 3 times to outperform the 22-year-old American. The world's number 2, Nadal captured the title 15 years after he won his first in 2005. He also won the crown in 2013. Nadal stormed through the draw without dropping a set and improved to 20-2 in the event overall. Fritz had reached the final by rallying from a set behind and 2-4 deficit to John Isner, but he could mount no such comeback against Nadal. Fritz is the only American besides Sam Querrey in 2017 to reach the final in Acapulco. Despite the defeat, Fritz reached his first final at an ATP 500 event.
Set partido Nadal. 2-0. 6-3, 6-2. 6-3, 6-2.
And DST cheaters Antonio Felix da Costa won the Marrakesh Épreuve from pole position yesterday to take the championship lead and become Formula E's 5th different winner in 5 races. DST Cheetah celebrated a podium double with reigning champion Eric Wern, 3rd after starting 11th, and the BMW I Andretti's Max Ginther snatching 2nd place on the last lap. Portuguese driver Da Costa now has 67 points in the championship and is 11 clear on previous leader Mitch Evans. Evans had started at the back of the grid after a qualifying nightmare due to a Jaguar team miscalculation that meant he failed to set a time, but the New Zealander fought back to the 6th at the finish.
Drops behind Da Costa. Here comes Jean-Eric Verne past the Porsche of Andre Lotterer. As we see Jev passing by, it's good at 1-2 at the moment for DS to Cheetah. This Verne defending.
And on your weather update for this evening, the Meteorological Department says that mainly fair weather will prevail over the most part of the island. Wind speeds can increase up to 40 kilometers per hour at times in the northwestern province and in the Hambantota, Monoragala and Manar districts. Well, that's a wrap on tonight's national news broadcast. Join us once again tomorrow. Until then, thanks for watching. Good night.